A lovely morning to you, and thank you so much for being part of UBC TV this morning. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, and thank you so much for having been with us, even in absentia. But I thank you so much because I've been following those ardent viewers, but also continuously those joining us. Now, this morning, we are going to be discussing something very important to all Ugandans. Why? Because it is a program that targets to bring Ugandans who are out of the money economy into the money economy. Now, that is the PDM, the Parish Development Model. And we all remember, or let me let you know, if you do not remember very well, that this was launched on the 26th of February 2022 in Kibuku District by His Excellency at Kibuku Primary School in Kibuku District. Since then, the parish development model has been running, and we've seen Ugandans, some transformed, we've seen some who've benefited, others who we can't explain if they have or not, and some who have not chosen to be very serious with life. I'm sorry to use that term when it comes to the parish development model. But joining me to discuss this is the Right Honorable Nyamayanja Rose Nsereko, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, NRM. Honorable, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure for me to be here on Good Morning Uganda Extra. Yeah.
Now, Honorable, first things first, for the Ugandan watching us, when you talk about the PDM, it has gotten different interpretations. Some believe it is a government program to give people money, others to empower them. Some think it's a kind of campaigning tool, others a reward. What exactly, in your view, is the PDM?
First of all, I think to give it context is that there have been major programs over time to ensure that Ugandans get out of poverty. Long back, you remember we had Ntandikwa, which started in our area in Luwero. We had government buying, at one time government bought tractors per sub-county. All these were aimed at trying to improve the livelihoods of many Ugandans. We had, there have been different programs. One time we had the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. There was a program for modernization of agriculture. There was, at one time there was a statement we used to use, I think it was within the international circles, the UN circles, poverty alleviation programs. Then we said, no, it is eradication. Then we went to programs like NADS. We went to programs like OWC. In one campaign, the president was talking about Bonaba Gagawale. So the motive or the interest of government getting Ugandans out of poverty has been there for quite some time. But the other programs also made strides at various levels, and there are Ugandans, particularly NADS, those that we talk about today as the model farmers are those that went through the NADS program and other programs. But even with its success, the level of success was not as massive as we would want it. And the way it was formulated was such that if at a sub-county, because then a sub-county would receive 100 million shillings, but that 45 million of that would go for seminars, workshops, and you realize that the farmers or Ugandans or residents would receive not commensurate to what they would have received. So in 2019, the party, we had a retreat, and we were looking at issues of political economy and how we change this and everything. And Dr. Sulma led us into development through the parishes. So that was the birth of the parish development model. And the 3 years that we went through was streamlining how it is going to operate until when it was launched in 2022. But the context is that, yes, we have had these other programs. All these other programs were anchored at the district level. You would have a district NADS coordinator, you have a sub-county NADS coordinator, you have farmers fora at various levels. But this time round, the argument of government and the party was that no, the people are not at the district, they are not at the sub-county, they are at the parish and LOC1 and the villages. So let this program, first and foremost, be managed by the people themselves. Not the public servants, not who are the technical people, because we agreed that NADS had done so much and OWC about training, and that there are many now model farmers who can be examples for the rest. So unlike all the other government interventions on poverty reduction, this is the only program where resources come from the consolidated fund to the parish circle, which circle is formed and managed by the communities themselves. And there are various, I have been telling people that the PDM is an ecosystem at the village there. We created what we call the Parish Development Committee, chaired by the chairman of the parish, the LOC2 chairman, plus the other leaders, those who represent special interest groups, and that the only technical person, government person who is involved is actually the parish chief, who is the secretary of the Parish Development Committee. And other than the Parish Development Committee, you have, its responsibility is to mobilize the communities and sensitize them about the program, but that after that, there is a program of communities identifying enterprises. And then once they identify enterprises, then they are mobilized, they form their own circle, following the established procedures of running, forming, managing, and running those circles. And then these enterprises that are formed, they form enterprise groups. Those groups are at village level. And then from village level, that is where members of the enterprise group, anybody who is supposed to receive PDM must be a member of the enterprise group. If the parish selected coffee as an enterprise to get involved in, at least each parish has 3 enterprises. If you have coffee, you have bananas and poultry. Each of those has an association at the village level where training takes place, and then from there, it is through those associations that members, they even do community vetting, by the way, according to the guidelines. They do community vetting, and at the village level, people know, if you want to do coffee, people know whether you actually have where you are going to put it.
Or not.
Or not. And then from there, they go to the parish parish practical training centers, what they call the PTCs. Now these PTCs are homesteads of members of that parish who have excelled, who have tried to do it, I would say the one-eyed among the blind. That if somebody has been doing his coffee, he has done it well, he's willing and able to host his members of his community to come and learn from there. So if it is coffee, for instance, he provides land, they come and teach them right from planting. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how the hole is supposed to be dug. This is how you apply fertilizers. This is how you are supposed to prune. So before somebody receives money, they are supposed to go to that practical training center. They are trained, and then, of course, they now go through the application process, and then vetting. After vetting, they receive their monies. But this money does not again go through the committee or whatever. It goes on somebody's mobile money. It comes directly to your account, to your mobile money account, not going through anywhere. And it is supposed to be, the stipulated figure is 1 million shillings, because there is a system that they use which charges 4,000 shillings, and even that 4,000 is paid for by government. There are no other expenses. Somebody is supposed to receive their 1 million shillings intact. So in a nutshell, I can say that the program has been and is still very successful. The improvements are continuing to be made. There have been challenges here and there, as something that is just starting, of course. They are inevitable, that have affected the integrity and the effectiveness of the program, but a lot has now been done. And I can say without fear of contradiction that the communities are busy.
Now, Honorable,
the communities are busy in the countryside
for
there.
that broad explanation of how the program works, what the program is. Now I think it's time we dive into the hard nuts to crack. One, you rightly said that people are busy.
Yeah.
In one of the issues that have been raised was the 1 million, where many say they get less than 1 million, and that has affected them. Some, I've spoken to a few who tell you we didn't get. I've seen His Excellency in various areas where even he directs investigators to follow up why people get less than what they are supposed to get. Maybe that is one of the things you've corrected. But also, there have been issues of unseriousness when it comes to people getting this money and not putting it to proper use. And also, there have been challenges. I'm looking at the major so that you can address them. There have been also issues of people ability to pay back, because this is a revolving fund, that if 100 million comes in a parish, if we use it, send it back, then that money will return to that parish as well. So these three jointly, because we don't have so much time these days, you have committees of parliament. That's why I brought them at once, so you find how you can handle them.
It's like getting less, then
getting
ability
less money,
to pay.
Ability to pay back, but also people using the money for other things. Yes.
So I want to say that first and foremost, the issue of getting less money came in at the beginning. Like I said, that the beginning is always rough. And when money was sent, some people thought that, yes, there are those who received less money and they told them, you know, we had to do photocopying, we had to print papers, and government came up and said, no, do not deduct anybody's money to do printing or anything. And as we speak right now, every circle is given 500,000 shillings for such incidental expenses, minimal expenses. They are paid from the consolidated fund, 500,000 shillings to cater for that, plus the 4,000 per transaction of sending money through the system. So that one was cleared. Then the other one, there were unscrupulous people who were telling members that, you know, for you to be included on the list, in Temera, in Uganda we say Temera, for you to be included on the list, you have to cough something. Those ones were also identified, and many were arrested, and the voices came in big numbers. So, and they arrested even secretaries of these committees and what have you. So the mobilization that has been done and the communication that has been done, and I want to thank the Ministry of Local Government. They have also consistently, through the PDM Secretariat, but also the chief administrative officers and whatever, because the other issue was that money is on the account and then a lot of it had not been disbursed following the normal way of doing things. But there has been really, the Prime Minister came up and said if money is on the account, do what you are supposed to do. RDCs are supposed to carry out oversight. GISOs are supposed to carry out oversight. And all political leaders, actually for that particular aspect, this is where I call upon political leaders at the various levels. There is a parish councillor. There is a sub-county councillor. There is a chairman LC3. There are NRM party structures. It's incumbent upon them to monitor. So issues of receiving less money at the beginning was there. But going forward, even the president during the PDM tour was very, very emphatic. And people were like, how can the president go and look at four pigs and look at 100 chicken? But the messaging that was given was very, very stern, and people changed. So unless that's that now ability to pay, I think this is the cheapest money, because the argument when we were formulating it was that we want cheap and patient capital. How cheap is it? 6% per annum. That you receive 1 million. If you pay in 1 year, you have to add on 60,000 shillings. 6% per annum, and remember there is a grace period of 2 years. So meaning if you went into, for instance, broiler chicken, in 2 months you are selling, you will have finished that batch. You go to another batch, you plow back. By the time you start paying, and people are free to begin paying even after 6 months or a year, but by and large, the argument is, instead of this Ugandan going to a money lender to charge him or her 20% per month for even chicken which has not grown to go to the market. You want to do maize, to plant maize, before the maize is harvested, this gentleman or woman wants you to begin paying. So 6% per annum with a grace period of 2 months, and you have 1 year within which to pay this money. So in terms of cheap, it is 6%, compared even to people who go to banks and pay 26, 25, 23% per annum. So it is cheap, and I want to say ability is real if somebody invests in it. And then the other people, like you said, who do not receive money and use it for correct use.
Yes.
There is one person, after the very first batch of PDM, they showed a picture, a video of some man who got money and went and drank, and he was saying, this PDM we have, and you would see him visibly drunk, and he was talking about PDM. So the teams went out and they looked him up, and he said, you people, in my whole life, I am 43 years, I have never received $1 million. So I have got this money, I'm going to use it, but I used the 50,000. As a celebration that I've reached this level. The 50,000 for me to drink and also enjoy with the others, but the 950, I am going to use it effectively. So that gave us time again to continue sensitizing issues of financial literacy and mindset change, because PDM has around 7 pillars, and financial inclusion is pillar number 3. But what we now want to put emphasis on by the entire community is mindset change. When you receive this money, can you use it for what it is supposed to be used? And then what is also helping are the enterprise groups. People are trained before they receive the money. We had a function on Friday in Nakaseke, and we were supporting the parish training centers. And our theme was skills before the shilling, equipping the practical training centers to deliver the model. So that aspect of equipping, and those PTCs, they have come in last year, are going to help a great deal in people knowing that if you are into tomatoes, what exactly are you using the money for? Yeah.
Now, Honorable, you've mentioned that these have been addressed. Now, let's look at people owning this project, because the PDM is entirely people-driven.
Yeah.
People owned. How have we had the public participation with owning? Because I've visited some of the projects or some successful groups. And one of the changes other programs have been having that are aimed at poverty alleviation is there's this mindset, cha government. You find someone, the birds are sick. If the vet allocated to that particular group has not surfaced, someone even can say, Enkokoza president is Jaffa. And I think this has been, you talked of mindset, this has been one of the issues that slows the government programs. Such have Ugandans this time adopted PDM, understood and took it as their own?
I think we are largely into that because the fact that it is not technical people managing this program, it is the communities themselves. We have just gone through local council elections. The level of enthusiasm, the level of vibrance, the level of voter turnout that was seen when we were electing LOC1 and LOC2 elections speaks to that. Because they know that these people are not just being elected for anything to be there as their leaders, but they are involved in their livelihoods directly. Because the chairman of the village is supposed to sign on this application form to confirm that this resident is actually a resident, this person is a resident of this village and this parish. So that level of the fact that it is managed by the people themselves, they are owning it up. And they have owned it up. And it's a process, by the way, because first and foremost, there is community mobilization. That is the exercise. And during community mobilization, they are being told that you are the ones running this program. Then there is profiling of the PDM. There's previously what they did was to carry out a PDM, there's what they call a PDM information system, to know that actually this person, in the villages, in the districts there, they know the number of households per village. And your name is captured. Your household is captured, your name is captured, your name is captured, your date of birth, your gender, and whether you actually qualify, because there is also eligibility. You qualify to receive this money. Because if you are earning somewhere, this money is meant for those who are in the subsistence economy. What the president usually refers to as okukolerera ekida kyonka, until you just go to the farm to produce for what you are going to eat.
Yes.
There are Ugandans out there who, when the month starts, does not know whether he will get 20,000, 50,000, or 100,000.
Whatever life brings.
Whatever life brings, yes, actually you have brought it very well. But there are those who know that at the end of the month, I am a teacher here, I am doing my small business here. Anybody who has something they are doing, those are not largely for this, because for you, you are already in the money economy. Now, those who are not in the money economy are the ones that are being looked at. So that's why the profiling is very, very important. Then there is formation and strengthening of the enterprise groups, because these are your guarantors. These are the people with whom, some of them have even formed their own projects. You find a banana enterprise group of a certain village have gone ahead to say, we are also forming a catering, some kind of catering business. So they do more than what they are supposed to do. Then from there, you now have the loan application process. You fill in a form, you go to the chairman. Then there's a community vetting meeting. A meeting is held at the community to vet those people. Then preparations of verified beneficiaries, and that preparation is the training now. You have been confirmed that you're a resident of this area, you are eligible to receive the PDM, you want to do this, this is how it's going to be done. So they prepare them, then they submit to the SACCO. And the SACCO also does their appraisal process, following the SACCO guidelines across board. And then from there, payment is made, you invest your money, and then there is follow-up.
Honorable, that said, still looking at this wonderful program with very good intentions, there have been concerns of the would-be beneficiaries and the beneficiaries.
Yes.
That some of the people that we see as successful PDM receivers or beneficiaries actually are not that group that His Excellency, in his wisdom, was looking at. That you find a Chirabo, let me use my name for fear of offending other people, but they receive this money with the person we've talked about, that's person who only wakes up and doesn't know what tomorrow holds for them, or just has like a garden, digs, gets what to eat, so that this is not the person, by and large, that has benefited from this program. What do you say about that?
At the beginning it was there. At the beginning it was there, and people are taking advantage of that. One, on issues of eligibility in terms of level of financial inclusion. There are people who are doing something but found their names somehow on the list. There were those who are coming from different parishes. Somebody is known to be in Woblenzi and then receives money in Chichusa. At the beginning, the public was also not sure of exactly what this program and how it's supposed to be run. But I want to say that the president's PDM tour, he spent a whole year moving across the entire country. And when they were going there, I mean, when he was moving, he was explaining to Ugandans who benefits from PDM, and then the roles and responsibilities of the various stakeholders. And it helped a great deal. And the leaders also continued to understand. The extension staff have been very, very instrumental. I think this is a time when our agricultural and veterinary officers are also doing their best, because a structure has been formed across board in the villages. They now have specific assignments that, because previously you would know that there is an agriculture officer at the sub-county. How and when he comes, whether it is by chance or whatever, but now they know that they are supposed to train, and they try as much as possible to go there. But I can say that we may not be where exactly we want to be, but we are not at a time when the project was just starting. There are many people who would come in, and there are others who are managing the process and brought in their friends. Like I said, many people were arrested. And the good thing is that the people who are running it are community people. And they know each other. They know their homes and households. But for me, by the time we went for campaigns, and by close of last financial year, over 4.3 trillion shillings had gone down to the grassroots. And with that money, they were able to know who has received it. For instance, they were looking at it in terms of gender. 53.63% of the people that received this money were women or females, and the males received 46.3. In KCCA, that is where we had the highest number of females receiving 68.2. And then Busoga, that's where we had the lowest in terms of females, who received 48.6. Greater Mpigi and Mubende, it was almost balancing, male and female. receiving 49.7 and 50.3. So you would see both the male and female were receiving the same. And then the age, because like I said, you have your NIN, the age group is important. What I can also say to this, which I had not said, is that this money comes when they know what goes where. 30% of the monies that go are supposed to be for young people between the ages of 18 and 30 to kind of reduce unemployment. And then 30% for women. Why the women numbers increase at times is because even among the 18 and 30, you have the women. Even those above 60, you have the women. So we realized that 18 and 30, at the beginning, they had received 26%.
Okay.
That is why now we also tell our people and the community, the leaders, to continue sensitizing, because the youth were entitled to 30%, but they received 26% because maybe they didn't know. Those who were above 60 received 12%. And among the enterprise groups, the crop, those in the crop industry or crop husbandry, they received 34%. Then livestock, 20%. Piggery, as piggery in itself, within livestock, 13%. Coffee, 13%. Poultry, 12%. Dairy, 9%. Of the 4.3 trillion. And then there was a 2% that went into value addition. There was apiary or beekeeping, which received 1%. Fish farming received 0.2%, and then a 0.1% for fruits. So the PDM Secretariat under the Ministry of Local Government clearly knows what money went to which segment of society and which enterprise received what amount of money. But for me, that by the time we went we concluded the financial year, over 3.5 or 7 million Ugandans had benefited.
Honorable,
from the PDM.
And I will take you at that
3.7 million households.
7 million households. Now, Honorable, when we talk of these figures, they are huge.
Yes.
But let's go to the practical bit of it. I remember one time when His Excellency was talking about the PDM, he said, if a parish receives 100 million, after 5 years, this parish must be transformed.
Yes.
If families are receiving this money, Honorable, I know most in Ruwero there, you're on the ground. Do you see when you move through these communities, or is it early? Do you see that transformation? Can we say, is it in tandem what government is putting in and the outcome? Because you know in this war, come in the money economy, they get power to purchase.
Yes.
They improve their livelihoods. Has PDM caused that transformation? Can we see it? I'm a farmer. Yes. Now, when it is a coffee season, you move through the village. And the women are happy, the men are happy, you know. So with the PDM, do we feel that transformation? Are we seeing it yet?
I think we are beginning to see it. Because like you said, the president gave like 5 years. And when we were beginning, you rightly put it that it was launched in 2022. So that first year into the second was kind of stabilization. But even then, I still will give the example of Nakaseke. Before this quarter of this financial year, but by close of last financial year, each parish in Nakaseke district had received 380 million shillings. This money was not there before. Now our thinking is that by the end of this term, we should have more than 1 billion shillings in a parish. The parish economy is going to be transformed Why? Because if they have received 380 by close of last financial year, and then in these 5 years, government adds on 100 million per year, that would be another 500 million shillings. When you add it to the 380, that will be 880 million shillings. But also remember, they are repaying and bringing back. So having 1 billion shillings in a parish, in Nakaseke there are 71 parishes. Those are 71 billion shillings in the community. You are looking at this young man who was doing his tomatoes, planting and getting everything from tomatoes. And all he needed was pesticides, which was costing, or which is supposed to cost, 300,000 shillings, 600,000 shillings, but lost his entire musiri because he didn't have that money. But now with this money, he can get that, he can ensure that his tomatoes are not affected. If somebody is engaged into piggery, you have seen the percentages for piggery. Many enterprises went into piggery because it is easy to, and it produces, it multiplies very fast. And somebody starts with 3 pigs. In 6 months or 8 months, even if it's 10 months, depending on the age, the months with which he or she brought them, if each pig gives them 8 piglets, those are already 24 pigs plus the 3. Those are 27. This person did not have anything to think of as he or she now goes to sleep. He thinks about the income that is likely to come out of those 24 piglets, and can even plan for the next 5 months or the next 1 year. If somebody buys broiler chicken, which takes 6 weeks to sell, and after 6 he buys the chicken plus the feeds, with that 1 million, he can start, even if it's 100 or 200. There is a lady who we saw the president visited in Chikoma. I think she was called Naluwama Aida. She started with 200 broilers. And she had a room there, which I think they were using
PDM money.
Using PDM money, because when the president was moving, he was looking at those that are using PDM money. This lady started with the
200 broilers.
After
receiving the 1 million.
6 weeks, she sold, and then she brought in more. She increased the number. She again now bought some piglets out of that, and then another batch she brought broilers, chicken, and so you would see now this home is changing. There is broilers. She has broilers here. She has broilers there, and she has pigs the other side. So that level is, we are beginning to see it in the communities. Like I told you in Nakaseke on Friday, we gave out coffee seedlings to the practical training centers and banana suckers to those who are doing bananas. But even when they did it on Friday, on Sunday I saw a video of the PDM circle person going to the practical training center and saying, ebinya tumazo bisima, ebye mwanyi we tugendo ziteeka. Received it on Friday. He didn't even mind whether Sunday is a working day or not, but they were in the garden. And they're saying, we are going to begin training our people, right from how to dig the hole, where do you put the black soil, where do you put the red soil, and that kind of stuff. So for me, the communities are busy, and they are following through.
Now, Honorable, to a Ugandan watching us, of course we've talked about those that have made it. What is your message to Ugandans out there who still doubtingly feel this project cannot transform lives, and some may even be speaking ill of what they have not ventured into?
First of all, the Ugandans who were doubting this program are the elite Ugandans who were like, what does 1 million do?
Yes.
They did not imagine, because somebody goes in a bar and they drink 2 million or just 1 million like that. But for the people there on the ground, it really moves the needle, that 1 million. Somebody, the president was telling us about a lady in Rubirizi who was 64 years and said that for me, in my own life, I had never owned something. But for the first time, I bought these pigs. They are mine and my family. So even the hope alone, that hope that now I have something to myself is very, very important. And then even when we were in the campaigns, our opponents wanted to use it and say it is nothing. We are, even when we win, we are going to abolish it. But you know, this PDM is not something you can just abuse or talk about on social media and you think you are making a point. Because even when you talk about social media, somebody knows for a fact that he received this money on his phone. It's not like the other programs where we would take coffee seedlings at the sub-county headquarters. You take maize and they get from there. But somebody, whether at night while sleeping or in the morning, a message came on his phone. You have received 1 million shillings for PDM. So you can't deceive that person.
Let me check.
That
you have received. So I was like, oh, maybe I've received. But anyway, time seems to be
you can't deceive that person that it doesn't work.
Yes, so Honorable, let me just have your final message to Ugandans.
My final message to Ugandans is that the PDM is a silver bullet as far as transforming our communities is concerned. I want to appeal to, first of all, the leaders at the various levels, from the village to the district level, to do what they are supposed to do. Those at village and parish to actively get people involved, to ensure there is integrity in the process, and then for those above to monitor. The elected leaders, please, this is a program that we have never had a program of this magnitude in this country. We were telling Ugandans that government will not bring money on your doorsteps. Today it is happening. So I want to appeal to the leaders to monitor this program, but also to appeal to the beneficiaries. Use it for what you have got it for, and then return it back for the neighbor to also get. And I want to believe it's going to be a change maker. Well,
Honorable Rose Namayanja, I want to thank you so much for your time, for our viewers who have been watching, but also for something very unique. Government does a lot of good things.
Yes.
But you don't come out to speak about them. Now, as the Deputy Secretary General, it's very encouraging that it is time you come and tell people what your government is doing, how they should benefit from that. And I hope to have you many more times. Well, I must now end it at this. Sophie Matov will be up next with more programming. Keep it to UBC TV. And please, if you get this money, make sure it is that silver bullet in your life. Have the best of your day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Pick of the day on UBC.